Okay, so this is my video for the Ecological Integration Symposium oral report. I went to three poster presentations. So the first poster that I went to was Deal Activity, Exploring Temporal Niche Conservatism in African Ungulates and Its Ecological Consequences. Our presenter was Briar Clausen. The short summary from this presentation was that the speaker said the mammals that they studied were supposed to be active during the times that they feed and that their activity should relate to their body mass. Ultimately, what the speaker and her group were testing is if actively ungulates or larger body ones have consistent activity across sites and if smaller body ungulates have varied activity across the sites. My reaction to this presentation was that the research was similar to things that we learned in class, such as feeding and living patterns of different animals and how they move around, and also if there are other competition around, it can affect how they live. The second poster that I went to, so their presentation was titled Exploring Thermal Tolerance Limits of the Upside Down Jellyfish, and their presenter was Edgardo Rivera. The short summary that I got from that presentation was that the presenter and his group studied jellyfish coming from the coast of the Florida Keys, and they tested their cold and heat limits and documented their natural responses to various temperatures. They found out that the Ephira jellyfish can survive a wide range of temperatures, more so than the others that they had studied. And I thought that this presentation was the most interesting because I got to learn briefly from the presenter how the upside down jellyfish can live in certain temperatures. And at one point, they will eventually die out. It reminds me of how we as humans adapt to extreme weather, especially us living in Texas. We have extreme like weather in different seasons, and I was just able to learn how the jellyfish kind of relate to us doing the same in different temperature waters. And then the third poster that I had visited, so it was called Water Availability and Extreme Events Under Climate Change Scenarios in an Experimental Watershed of the Brazilian Atlantic Forest. And the presenter that was there, his name is David Costa. The short summary that I got from the presentation was that the speaker and his team researched and created simulations of watersheds and varying climates to predict water availability during certain times in Brazil. They found out that in hot climate um, time, such as summers, they didn't get enough water to nourish everything during that time, and then during cooler climates, they would receive plentiful amounts of precipitation. My reaction to their presentation, I was able to reflect on how their presentation reminded me of my bioenvironmental science class. We spoke about how watersheds are used to prevent flooding and other unfortunate outcomes. Um, and basically how it can prevent like runoffs of water and it affecting such as houses and people living. The flooding can create a multitude of issues. So having those watersheds and the water from such as rain and whatnot go into those large bodies of water such as lakes and such, um, it can prevent um, catastrophic events.